with that, can I ask you a little bit about what is to come in the REC offerings over the next months, quarters, years?
Yeah,
Is that
absolutely.
something we can talk
Um,
about in this conversation?
I I like talking about those. So as I mentioned earlier, we've got the Alpha Pro M series.
Mhm.
That is a product that is going to be coming into the US probably December. It is a 640 watt product. And that's going to be targeting CNI and small utility scale. We see that in up to 2 megawatts, ground mounts, targeting ag, things like that, and then
Mhm.
also CNI rooftops. It's a monofacial product
Mhm.
because you don't really need bifacial in CNI space. People like to have it, but I mean, really, what are you getting with a bifacial product that is mounted coincident with the roof? You're really not getting much bifacial gain. So we feel that we'll have good penetration with the Alpha Pure M series in CNI, and then some small utility scale ground mounts where bifacial gain really isn't that important.
Mhm.
We'll be introducing the Alpha Pro L series, which is also an HJT product using half cut cells. And that's going to be up to, I believe that's 740 megawatts or 740 watts product. It's a bigger product. It's 2.3 meters tall. So yes, that's
Wow.
big, but that's what you get when you string all these things together. But that is focused clearly on utility scale, and that's got lots of things. So it'll be a glass on glass product, but it's 1.9 millimeter glass, so it's not going to be as heavy. So that's the big dig on glass products right now, is that yes, they've got a very good warranty because they've got no backsheet on them, but man, they're heavy. So you reduce the weight of that by doing thinner glass. You're mounted if you're mounting on a single axis tracker, so you're mounting on the torque tube, and so now you've got to have, if you've got a longer module, you're going to have to, it becomes big problems with the drive motors and things like that. But the people out there at Nextracker and ATI, there's a lot of very smart people out there that are learning that will be there for, they'll have a solution in time. But yeah, we expect those to be coming out. Moving farther down the line, I think lots of companies are looking at perovskites. Perovskites will be it'll be a tandem junction. So there'll be two PN junctions on the cell. And that will give you, again, it's our lust for more power, more watts peak at STC. So that'll give us even higher, 850 watt panels, that type of thing. But I think a lot of people in the industry understand the limitations of perovskites. So they're not as reliable, or I don't say reliable. They're not as robust as we would like for them to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're, they they degrade in sunlight. They degrade when they're outdoors and in sunlight. Well, that's just not a good match for solar panels.
Yeah.
But they're working. There's some very smart people working on that. And just about everybody has a solar or has a solar perovskite plan in their future for when that happens.
Yeah.
Short term, what I see is happening is where we will actually, so the arrays will be built with the perovskites on them. The perovskites will add, 10%, 12% power to that panel, but they'll only last for 10 years. So then
10% to the 23%, so like another 2%.
10% in watts peak. So it'll turn a 800 watt panel to a 900 watt panel.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it will drive that up to 900 watts, but it only lasts for 10 years. That perovskite layer will only last for 10 years. So after
Got it.
10 years, it degrades down to an 800 watt panel again, which is
Right.
still a lot of power.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's the way that perovskites are going to make their entrance into solar, because I don't believe that we're going to be able to make something that's going to last 25 years right now. But that's coming. or
Yeah.
it's not even Perovskite, it's Perovskite like film that we can add to that. So,
Yeah.
but I think everyone's looking at perovskites. REC certainly is. I would expect that's going to follow HJT.
Yeah.
Um, and then there's, who knows after that? There's
Yeah.
lots of good stuff out there.
We've already done a conversation with Scott Graybeal of Calyx, which is a
Yes.
company associated with REC. I believe you guys are a investor, if not the parent company of Calyx. You know? Yeah.
Yeah. It's common knowledge that we've got an investment in Klux, and they're doing great work down there out of Pasadena. They've just moved to a new facility, and they're doing what's called a 4-terminal 4T. So what they do is they put perovskites on the front glass, and they take that's one solar panel, and then they bond it with the other solar panel. So now you've got two panels, which you've got 4T, 4 terminals, and you just join those two together at your output. Pretty cool stuff. I believe that's 4T is probably going to be the most effective, as opposed to putting perovskites directly onto solar cells. That's a bit more elegant, but it's also it's showing to be a bit more problematic.